Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. So happy Saturday. Honey Bear is going to get some clusters of our favourite fabrics. Now isn't that can of worms? But luckily Honey Bear has a very narrow range of fabrics in her colour palette, which is blue. So I'm going to grab them out and try awfully hard to stay within that colour palette. I should put these pink ones away because I'm not going to be using them on Honey Bear as such. So I might just remove them from Honey Bear's pile of goodies. So let's throw the fabric down and have a little play with what we can do. So, oh, lots of options. What I'm thinking, it's got a little bit of red in it, but I do like it. That's caught my eye straight away. There's one without red. Is that the same design? That would just be too simple, wouldn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, we can leave that one. So what I'm thinking is creating like what the girls did, a cluster of fabrics laid down, but I'm thinking I'll make them independent of the dress. So then I can piece them onto the dress as the project rolls forward and not so much stitch onto this itself. That might give me a little bit more freedom down the track. So it is going to be just piecing together. So I've also got my neutrals as well. And let's see what we can do. There's a bit of calico in here, so I can create a bit of a background to stabilize my piece, and then everything else is like really cool fabrics. So how are you all? How are you been? What have you been up to? Have you seen the exciting news? Susanna from Vintage Blend Studios is doing a retreat, and I'm going. I cannot wait. It is just going to be a hoot. Retreats are just great. If you haven't been on a retreat before, it's just, I don't know, hanging out with like-minded people, just chatting, sharing experiences. We talk about everything. We talk about, oh, I really love that. I love that piece. Let's just cut it out. We talk about people we follow on YouTube, craft products, stitches. Like, it's, the topics are just fantastic. What have I cut there? Oh, for goodness sakes, look, I've just cut my piece of calico. Oh, can't you tell I'm excited about her retreat? She's had it in the pipeline for a little while, so I have been privy. Oh, for goodness sakes, I've just ruined that piece of calico. Anyway, pop it aside. May not need it, but I do tend to like to put a stabilizing fabric under my work, so I am going to get myself another piece. So yeah, I have been privy to her planning and thinking for some time, so I've sort of been like, you got to do it, please do it. And then I don't know, everything just seemed to line up nicely, and she had this fantastic drawing that she had sketched while travelling around looking at the villages through Europe and Paris, and this is a massive swatch. But she has such a big skirt. Let's just see if there's even usable. Oh yeah, Honey Bear, let's go for it. Yeah, she's been travelling through Europe, observing these beautiful houses. Like, even I've got photos of these English and French house styles. Like, you can see the Tudor feeling coming through, different Renaissance types of buildings, and oh, just so interesting. I think we need a stripe. Do I have ticking? I've got to have some ticking. Let me just jump up and look for the ticking. Yes. So she's put pen to paper and she started sketching, and she did heaps of sketches and they just looked fantastic. So I was like, you've got to put this onto fabric. And I've been doing a bit of that behind the scenes too. I'm not ready to, you know, talk about that yet because I'm still working on it all. But yeah, interesting getting quotes for printing onto fabric, and I sort of went down my channel of manufacturers that I have access to with my Christmas business. And then I was like, oh, I think I could find someone local. So I did a little bit of research and found a fantastic local company. And they're just great. It's a mother and daughter team. And it was fantastic because I'm spending the money in Australia. I'm getting premium products. So then when Susanna showed me these drawings she'd done, I was like, oh, Susanna, you won't believe what I'm investigating. How to print designs onto fabric to stitch. So I brought her into the loop, and it just happened. It just all come together. So I'm so excited for her. And then she's gone out and had a look around town, found a fantastic venue. Like, seriously, if there's anywhere, what is going on there? Anywhere to have a retreat, Ballarat would be one of the cities in this country worth I'm looking at my composition, trying to talk at the same time, worth investigating further, because it's a historical town. So I've never been there, so I was pretty keen to say, well, gee, if you do a retreat, I'm so in, because my last retreat was with Forage in Victoria, but out on the Mornington Peninsula, and it was just so beautiful out there. It's so different to Queensland. So to be able to explore another part of this great country, yeah, really, really keen to do it. So it just all came together, and she's finalised all the details, and she has done a video explaining everything happening. And it's going to be great because we're doing little outings as well, because she's in a historical city and there's lots of little historical cities nearby. There's this opportunity to visit quilt shops and, you know, outlets that specialise in our world of, you know, what we do. So I said to her, you know, let's break your days up. You know, as much stitching as I like to do, your back starts to get a bit sore and you get cramped up. So to sit there all day stitching, you know, let's have some variety. Let's move. And she started going through all of the different places that she shops. And I was like, wow, you are in a beautiful part of the world and you have access to those businesses. You have to so share. Is that too light? I'm sort of going moody here. There's some little bits. So yeah, she put together her list of potential visits. She's now spoken to all of those shops and they're like super excited that a group of ladies will be coming. So there's all sorts of little side deals happening potentially for us. She's still nutting out all of that. We really wanted to see the uptake and if it was something you were interested in. And yeah, so now with confidence, she can actually talk to those shopkeepers and say, look, what can we do? There's a group of girls coming. So it's very exciting. Well, I'm excited. And I said to my husband, clear the deck, March. We are going to Ballarat. So, well, he technically hasn't been invited yet. I'm probably getting too small with my little randomy bits. But I just want to use it. So I'm going to add it. So middle of March, the retreat is the 11th, I believe it starts. I will link Susanna's video below so that you get exactly the details. I don't want to be talking out of school and get it all wrong, but I know it's 4 days. We've got this hotel that she's selected that we're going to. It looks amazing in Ballarat, this historical building. Oh, it looks so good. There's accommodation right out the back as well, so it just is easy. So what else did she say in her video? Oh, she's got, of course, the class is going to be based around these little villages that she has sketched and printed onto a panel of fabric, and then she's putting together little packs of fabrics to get us started, so like kick us off. And she's done like a couple different color waves so that we can sort of choose what we like, and then because we're visiting other outlets, there's the potential of fine-tuning the color palette, which I think is great, because you might be a shabby chic girl and some of the fabrics in the pack may be useful to you, others may not, so you can add to it. And because we're seeing what we're doing before we get there, you can take fabrics that may be from your own stash, which I think is fantastic. It just, let's say you want to do a particular style, well then you can go to your cupboard and pull out those types of fabrics, which I think is great. I know it's, you know, something a little bit different for what retreats are normally doing, but she's also going to have a pop-up store, and I'm super excited. She's asked me to do a little pop-up store as well, but the theme is Christmas, being that I'm the queen of Christmas, if you don't know already. I'm sure you do. Just feel like I need a little extra bit of floral. So I'm not sure what I'm going to bring along. I'll have to have a look through my goodies of Christmas. And I will also be releasing a project that is for next Christmas that I've done, similar to what Susanna's done. So I'm pretty excited about that. Just feel like I need to bring in a little bit of a lighter colour. It's quite, oh, look at that. Honey Bear. I didn't even realise that that was on that fabric. Oh, Honey Bear, let's do a love scene. We'll leave that. Let's come back to that. So yeah, that's the latest news, and I'm a little bit excited. She's had a heap of bookings too already. Like, the video's only been up a short time, and she, even before she finished really talking about the retreat, she could hear a computer pinging as people were booking. So that's exciting. And there's people coming from overseas. Like, isn't that amazing? Oh, I hope they've got family to visit here too, and they're making a bit of a trip of it. And it seems like that's probably what would be probably happening, but who knows? I don't even know where I'm going to put that piece. Got a lot of stripes happening. Honey Bear, do you like stripes? Well, you're getting stripes. Some fiddling with the layers. Just, what will I put on next? So yeah, that's the news. Our dear Susanna has stepped into the world of retreats. I believe she has done them in the past, prior to the whole COVID thing. So now she's back in the game, which is exciting. I've heard people talk about her retreat. She's very generous. So I have seen some of the things she's picking up and creating as goodies, you know, bits and pieces. So it's very exciting. This is going to be a massive panel on her dress. Does that matter? Probably not. Probably we wanted it a little bit more random than what I'm doing. I guess that could happen if I start taking pieces off the back. You know, coming off. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to force myself to go out. Out a little, make it a little bit more patchy. This through here, I'm thinking I'm going to embroider. Do I want that up in there? No. I think I might just pull it down a little bit. I sort of feel like I'm not getting this little flower here is of interest to me as well. So I've just rearranged the whole thing. I don't know if I like that. Now that's feeling a bit better. Yeah, that's better. I feel like I'm got this cascade of bits happening here, a little bit plainer here, and it's anchored by that ticking, which I'll pull out a little bit. Okay, so that's, to me, a little better. I might just get some of that there. Maybe bring that down, take that out, because we want to extend off. And we're sort of skipping along the top of that fabric. Maybe that's what will give me the ragged edged feel. As I cut all that away. Feels a bit uniform, doesn't it? That's all right. Not going to panic just yet. Let's see what other goodies are in here that can be put in. Big spots. Do a little bit of big spots. So yeah, if you're interested in hanging out with us for 4 days, shameless plug here for Susanna, come along, book yourself a ticket. Middle of March. Like I said, the video will be in my link below, and come and hang with us. It's going to be great. There'll be shopping, lots of shopping, a little bit more shopping, antique looking, maybe shopping, stitching, eating, stitching. You get the general picture. Lots of chatting. Gee, I'll be in my element. Oh, you're interesting. It's probably a bit moody. Yeah, I sort of feel like that needs to stay bit looser up there. Maybe I'll leave it at that. I might just pull back a little bit now. And maybe we have a look at, I've got plenty of threads, some beads, cottons. These are all bits and pieces I pulled out at the beginning just to get us started. So I'll put those fabrics away. Is there anything interesting in here? I do like this piece. Before I get to, you know, stitch them down, I will probably rough up their edges, I think. We'll see. I don't mind that down there. I'll leave it like that. Oh, you can't even see what I just did. I'll leave that hanging out like that. I feel like some lace could come down there. Oh, here's a little bit of feed sack. Leave it long. That's been kicking around for a little while, so would be good too. Yep, that's in. Okay, what other bits are in here that would add a little bit of texture? Oh, favourite fabrics. Here's something. This is old. And it has little edges that have been stitched and unpicked and rolled over, and so now you guys will hear me probably banging on about this retreat like I did when I was getting ready to go to the forage one. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about it. Okay, that's just going to tuck in, not gonna, shocking. Going to tuck in there now. See how it just changes and evolves? I like that. I've got some little lumpy bits. Here's another bit. That's good. All right, let's go to the lace department because, you know, you just have to do that. So I even like the lint that's caught in this old piece of fabric. But we're not going to go looking for lint to stitch onto our pieces. For goodness sakes, the girls got out of control. So this is going to be similar to what we did for the mood board, I guess, that's in the journal. So we're now getting a little bit of a something for Honey Bear. I'm just having a look through the laces. Let's bring them in a little closer. Now, come on, Honey Bear. We'd have to have some tatting. Oh, yeah. It's just about finding that. See, there's a hole in it. Well, that's where we're going to cut. We're going to use that hole as our entry point. And we're going to stitch on a little lacy something onto Honey Bear's cluster. Just through there. That's a good start. What else have we got? Oh, this is a really big netty doily. It's a section of a very large doily, and I love this net. Like, oh, it's such fine work. So let's just lay a bit of that in there. That looks good. What else can we add? Oh, here's some. Maybe that could come down the outer side. No. I'm sort of looking for something to come down this edge to connect it to her dress. I'm just having a little. Like, that's just gorgeous. It's so fine. That would look so good on her dress. I might just tuck that in her pocket because I may forget that I've even got it when we come to future prompts. So I'm going to use her little pocket as a spot to put Honey Bear treasures. Just had a flash of thought. See, this is beautiful too. Honey Bear. I think she needs that in her pocket too. just put it in a pocket. Oh boy, oh boy. I feel like I need a lineal line. I don't think there's anything in this little box of tricks. I need to go probably to this box, which is the side pieces of when I cut a doily to bits. I'm going to keep this step. I like that, and I feel like that could lay on a doily. So if that was cut out at a later date, then this edge could lay on something on her dress. I just feel like I want to frame up this here. So I'm looking for something long and interesting. I don't mind that. I don't know what it's come from. Just thinking. There's another piece of it. Just not seeing. Oh, hello. I was just about to say I'm not seeing. I so love crocheted edges. It just gives that softness. Don't know what I'm thinking. Let's tuck it in there. Okay, let's just do that for a moment. Yeah, I like that, but I feel like I don't need to go all the way. So I'm going to cut it there. And I feel like I could then bring something up through here. Maybe some more of that feed sack. I might have to go digging. I know I've got a big piece of it, and that's sort of the last of some that I got in a pack years ago from Rachel. So I feel like I could bring another piece of that up through here and even duplicate this sort of cluster of crocheted beauties. Yeah. I might keep this quite uniformed. I don't know. It is looking quite yummy. I do feel like I need something through here. I'm just looking around. I'm sort of looking for a weird shaped piece of something. I don't know. I love that too. That hasn't found a home yet. Oh, I like that. No, not yet. I need to put that in Honey Bear's pocket. Honey Bear's pocket is going to be overfloweth with bits and pieces. See this too. Gosh, this is turning into a massive panel. Oh, I like that. Yep. That's what's going somewhere up here. Just changes that edge again. Just not sure about that. I've gone quiet. I'm thinking. This edge needs something. Maybe that's not the right piece. It feels a bit heavy. No, I don't want that big long edge. I need to break it up, and I want to use those little roses. Just spin them around. Yeah, that's better. Then maybe I just tuck that under. Yep, that's better. And then that comes up there with more little flowers. Spin it around so we see the flowers. And then that, maybe that comes down. Yeah, that's it. That comes down. Let's get rid of that top corner. We've got this little mini cluster. Just takes a bit of fiddling sometimes. If that cuts out, then we now get a rough top edge. We're breaking up that line. It's just this little piece of something. I feel like I need something there. It's definitely not that. What about, okay, hang on. Honey Bear really likes crocheted. Honey Bear really likes crocheted doilies. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to drift in some crocheted elements, and then she can have a little looky through some of these littler pieces. Oh, Honey Bear. You guys must think this girl is losing her noodle. Look at these, Honey Bear. There's lots of little morsels. Oh, yep. Now it's got a weird shape about it, which is great. I think that spot needs to come over there. We've got lots of texture. We can stitch in around all that to make that look quite different to what we're doing here and here. I think that's a good start. And that's before you start laying pieces underneath and heading in different directions. This is turning into quite a cluster, isn't it? I like that too. How big's the girl's dress? Hang on. We're getting out of hand. This is turning into a major production. So there's those other little morsels. We're popping them in the pocket because, you know, Honey Bear is squirreling away bits of lace. Honey Bear has got a problem, I think. Let's make some space here. We don't need that anymore. We've still got some. So this is an extension of the mood boards that we did at the beginning. Where's your little dress, Honey Bear? So if this piece was to nestle in next to the pocket, so there's our side seam of her little dress. I can't even pick it up because I haven't pinned as I've gone. So let's just, I still have a problem here, but may not be a problem with some decorative stitching. So let's just get some pins into this. It's going to be very pinned. I moved that little blue spot up because it lined up with this edge down here. So I just picked it up and took it up. She's got some tatting. It's beautiful tatting. She's got some very fine crocheting. This just softens it. I'd say I'm going to put another piece up here. Just I still could get some more feed sack. Just enough pins to at least be able to lift it. Then it's the usual invisible stitch to secure it, to get rid of those pins. Then start embellishing it with threads and stitches. I like the randomness of the shape of it. Really happy with that. It's going to look like a patch on her dress, like she's torn her dress and she's been collecting little bits of her favourite fabrics and pieces of crocheting. And has been just clustering them. Is that mobile now? A couple more. And we might pin it to her dress, and then we know we're good to go. And as other prompts come, they can sort of start nestling into it. I think this is a good prompt to have next, because we can start getting our fabrics into it to create the story, and then there'll be little areas where we can maybe add smaller little prompts. Am I able to lift that? Let's just get a couple pins in here. Okay. Get my hand under it. Yep. Oh, that one there needs a pin. Okay, let's move that over. Let's bring her little dress into, and there's her pocket. So we've got a pretty big area, which is great. I need to find a nice lace for the bottom of her dress too. Nothing's jumped out at me yet. So there's an opportunity to merge it with the pocket, or bring it over a little bit and up a little bit, and nestle it in there. I'm thinking along those lines, because then if I want to drift in and to other areas, I can. Oh yeah, I love that. Honey Bear, you've just got yourself a rather large patch on your dress. So what the plan will be is not attach it. Like I said, I'm going to embellish this, stitch it, work on this over the next fortnight. So my favourite fabric prompt will be a little bit of, I guess, a slow stitching a panel. I might be able to find some more textured little bits to pop in around the place. Buttons, you know, the usual. This here has potential too, but we might save that for another prompt, because I feel like she could handle, you know, a feature made of that. So I'm going to put that away for now. I think I've got enough here to do for Honey Bear. Yeah. And I still have a bit of space here that if I want to do something, I can just keep going. So that means all these edges will sort of stay semi up if I get to the point of attaching it. Now the bottom of her skirt needs something lacy. Now, because Honey Bear is a bit of a fan of crocheting, I'm thinking along the lines of some of these types of edges. Look, there's another edge I just spotted, which I think Honey Bear would like. Look at this. There's a little crocheted morsel that I think needs to find a home on this somewhere. It's all good. Honey Bear has, you know, got time. Oh, I like that there, just because. Actually, oh, Honey Bear, would you like that on your pocket? Gosh, now I'm heading off on another tangent. Oh, I like how stitch it flat this way and then twist it to create a little ruffle along the bottom. Isn't that cute? And that could go all the way or just a bit. Thinking just a bit. So if that ended there. I don't know, you can't even see what I'm doing. Thinking that just ends. I don't know, that's another beautiful little piece of something. Let's pop it in Honey Bear's pocket. She's coming to this here stitching event and she's squirreling bits and pieces for her pockets. Naughty girl. Doesn't matter. We'll let her go. Now, what was I thinking? Now, these are bits left from where I've cut the medallions out of something. So I thought they might be, see, I need a long one. They might be great to stitch onto the bottom of her little dress. Like so. I really, really like that. See, it would give me a little scalloped detail. Now, who's to say I don't find another lace and another lace, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to stitch, gosh, in addition to that, I'm going to stitch around the bottom of her little dress. That'll cover my, see, I turned up the edge and just did a zigzag stitch. I don't know if you can see that. There's a machine stitched zigzag there. So that will cover that beautifully. And I think I've got enough length to get me there. Yes, I do. There is the odd corner that will have to be dealt with, but that's okay. We'll figure something out. Honey Bear, you are now getting a lacy piece of trim to the bottom of your skirt. A recycled, upcycled doily. It's so her. So I'm just popping some pins in and check the length here. Yeah, easily make it. I'll just use a couple pins. I don't need to pin it to any great degree because I can stitch it and hold it at the same time with just doing some invisible stitch. The main thing is I've got enough to complete the task. So I'm at the halfway point, and there's the end where we hit a corner in the doily, and there's another corner. Okay, so it was a rectangle. So let's go to the opposite end. So what we'll do is we will probably could connect in and it wouldn't be too noticeable. Yeah, I think I can. So let's find where it becomes a problem. There. We're at the back of the skirt anyway, so I think we can scoot along until we run out of that straight line. Oh, look at the time, 45 minutes. Seriously, where did that go? Oh, we're so close. Do you think the scallops are going to end up evenly? That just would be too good, wouldn't it? I bet they don't. I bet they cross over. Okay. Now, we've got to get ourselves a bit past the corner. Let's just check out what we've got here. There's another corner. There's a corner. So I would think, there you go. Oh, how good is that? It is literally 2 scallops and we're there. Oh, Honey Bear. Well, this was meant to be Honey Bear's trim for her little dress. Yep. Oh. Like, what's the odds? I'll cut it a little bit past because as I stitch this on, it could move a little bit, but it's pretty close. Oh, wow. Wow, well, that'll give me some homework tonight. I will stitch that on. So Saturday night is going to be, no, it'll be my Friday night. I've lost track of time. So you guys are watching this on Saturday. So, and I'm filming it on Friday. So Friday night, party night, I'm going to be stitching that onto the bottom of Honey Bear's dress. I love it. I love it. Got a little bit sidetracked there, mind you. So in the next video, I'll come back to this piece and start doing some embellishing. So what I might do in addition on this Friday night, stitching night, is I will invisible stitch this down because that you do not need to see it. So then we can start thinking about some decorative bits and pieces to do to it. So that will be my homework for Friday night. So if you want to know what Corrine does on a Friday night, it's pretty exciting. She stitches, like probably the rest of you. There's Pepper and Bandit. Good morning, guys. So there you go. We've got ourselves the start of our favourite fabrics. Well, Honey Bear's favourite fabrics because she chose blue when we did the mood boards. We're going to cluster them with some of Honey Bear's favourite lacy bits. And in addition, she has started working on the bottom of her dress. I love it. Fantastic. She's got a real crocheting feel, which is so Honey Bear. All right, guys. I think that will do for now. So when I come back in the next video, I'll continue working on this. I'll just get rid of all these pins and then we'll dig into all of these bits that I pulled out on day one and do some decorative stitching. I've got some beads sitting in here, some diamantes. Oh, the girl could get some bling. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you for joining me. Have a lovely day. Hope you get some stitching done. All right, guys. Bye for now.